Wanna be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up. Hello, 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 everyone. I am your host, Chimere Bacon-Destin, because you know your girl got married. But this is EVO Live, an edition of the Real Housewives of Houston. Guess what? We did a thing. We wrote a book. We wrote a book full of great, wonderful testimonies for you guys. And it is entitled EVO, The Evolution of a Woman. Come on with that title. Y'all know that title is thebomb.com, .org, .net, what you want to say. I have the awesome, phenomenal Miss LaShawn Watson on with me today. And this is her actual author spotlight for the EVO Live. How you doing today, Miss
I
LaShawn?
am doing awesome. I mean, I'm so grateful this morning. Thank you. Thank you for having
Yes,
me.
yes. I see you're in your shop, in your element, honey. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I wanted to definitely talk to you today and get more insight on your specific chapter. Your chapter is chapter 11, and it's entitled "The Rising Phoenix," honey.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
and when you read her chapter, you're gonna see why that's the title.
yes,
Rising from the ashes, honey.
yes,
Still we rise, right?
yes, yes, we do. Yes.
All right, Miss Sean. So let me give you guys a little synopsis of EVO. EVO is short for evolution, but it's the evolution of a woman because there are many instances where we as women evolve. We're not the same that we are at 18. We're not the same that we are at 25. We're not the same that we are at 35. Okay. When we get to a certain age, we definitely learn and realize that we have evolved over time. There were things that we grasped, there were things that we left behind, there were things that we picked up. So definitely with the evolution of a woman, it is great to kind of give our experiences and our occurrences so that someone that may be going through some things can evolve too.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So we're gonna dig right in. LaShawn, come on.
All right.
Now, tell the people how we met.
Woo.
It
Baby, we
was
have
so
known
long
each
ago,
other. Yes,
honey.
it
You
was so
remember?
long ago. I have known Chimere. Oh my gosh, she was a teenager. She was in junior high.
Yeah,
Yeah,
junior high
yeah,
school,
yeah. And
eighth
we've
grade.
got some years on us.
Oh my God. I just thought
Yes,
about this. Like,
yes.
okay, don't say how
Uh,
long. Don't say
okay,
that.
we're gonna tell them how long. Okay, we're gonna put on there how old we are now.
Right,
So
right.
she's always been a phenomenal little girl. From oh my
Thank
God, I used to love to hear her sing. Oh goodness, yes, baby, that's them Bacons can sing. Yes.
okay.
Um,
I remember singing at Nene's table. And Nene is her grandmother. She talks about it in the book.
right,
Um,
right,
but she, in getting me introduced to Nene was actually what brought me closer to you and Shannon, because I was like, oh, okay, there's a similarity there with our grandmothers.
right.
Our grandmothers were deeply rooted in spirituality and Christianity. So
And in
go
the church.
ahead.
Baby, we went to church 5 days a week.
Yes, honey, every day.
Yes, that was our foundation. But meeting Shamir at that particular time, I didn't know from going from a chaperone at her parties and different things like that, that it would turn into such a relationship to the point where now we're working hand in hand together, side by
Yes,
side. Yes, yes.
yes. I,
Women winning. Yes.
Come on, women winning. I was so excited when I got the call, Sean, about you doing your shop. your nutrition club. I was so excited. Um, you know, that was an evolution moment for me with you,
Yes.
because I remember going through the other different things in your life. And like I told you, you were one of my role models. Sean was on, honey. Okay. When I was in the 8th and 9th grade, I was like, I'm gonna be a boss like her. Okay. She was like, no, baby, you got to do this, you got to do that. And if you don't have a car, let me show you how to do this and fill out this paperwork and make sure that this is done. She was on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I had my daughter, she came in and she was like, whatever you need, whatever y'all need, I'm here. She really, really came in and was a role model for me. And so the evolution of her story means so much more to me because of that. So when I got that call that girl, you was doing your own shop, I was like, yes. Okay, so let me come over and let me see what you're doing. And
Yes.
I still can't believe that you have your own thing going. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the
Thank you.
nutrition bar and everything. So give us a little bit about the story, about the chapter in the book.
Okay. So the story in the chapter that I have, the rise in Phoenix, and the reason why it's the rise in Phoenix is because um, that same boss lady that she talked about, that same boss lady lost everything.
Mm,
Um, I went from losing a husband because I couldn't have a kid to losing my grandmother, that same grandmother that gave me that foundation, gave me that background, losing her, and I lost me. Um,
mm,
it just everything that happened was a point of some things I hadn't healed from. This whole transformation is about healing. This whole book is
yes,
about healing and about transformation. I
yes.
went from losing myself to actually going into the drug world where I became a drug dealer. And I thought I had it going on because I was boss over there too.
Come on here.
So, I thought this was the life. I thought it was the life
Yes.
until I caught
Mhm.
a case. I
Hmm.
caught a case, and then after I caught a case, I got kidnapped. I got kidnapped by some people that used to be my VIPs and was put into the trunk, sexually assaulted in this trunk, butt naked. And I actually escaped out of this trunk while the car was going 66 miles an hour down the highway, and I lost 47% of my skin, third-degree burns. Um, Only by the grace of God did I made it. I
But
kept praying.
God.
Yes, indeed. I kept praying. That same little girl that Chimere had was one of the things that was in my head as I was in
Come
the truck when I
on.
kept saying, I can't let my niece find out I'm in this truck. She can't find out I died like this.
Yes.
That was supposed to be one of the pivotal points. But us, we hard headed. And it
Yeah.
didn't become my pivotal point. Instead, I spiraled even further and I became the drug user. I became the person that I hated most. I mean, just knowing that I had been in a world that I had a praying grandmother, there was addiction in my family. So there was already a separation between me and my mother at that particular time. And to end up being that person, that
Mm,
was that was the worst thing of my life. I didn't want nobody to see me. I didn't when people heard the story and stuff, I was hoping that they never would come by.
yeah.
I was running from my life as a fugitive
Ooh.
at the time. I'm on drugs, and then I become pregnant.
Oh my.
The one thing the doctors say couldn't happen to
It
me.
couldn't happen.
Couldn't happen, but
In the
God.
midst of all of that,
Yes, yes.
the
Now I'm
miracle.
yes.
The miracle happens.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I don't say this for admiration or anything that I didn't get any medical care, but I was scared. I couldn't go get any
Yeah.
medical care because I knew as soon as I went and got medical care, they were looking for me. It was going to be clink clink for me. So only thing I did was had one ultrasound done by someone under the table at the time, and I found out she was a little girl. I named her that day LaDaisia because that's the name of my grandmother, Daisy. From
Yeah.
that, from that, I couldn't stop using But 2 weeks before she got here, I prayed to God and asked God if He'll heal my baby. I'm about to do whatever He wants me to do.
Ooh,
And
Jesus.
I felt the hands wrapping around my stomach. And now I have a 12-year-old little girl now. We are 12 years clean and sober. And honey,
Yes.
when I tell you, God is in the healing business. God is in the miracle business. Yes, He is.
Today.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. So you'll definitely have to read the whole story so you can find out a little bit more about the things that I went through during that particular time, because it's simple, but it wasn't easy. It's simple just to walk with the Lord, but sometimes when you're going through different things and things is fighting you and fighting you and fighting you, because once you stand up, the enemy is coming in, and you just got to
Mm,
make sure you prayed up. That foundation that I had from before was what caused me to be able to keep moving forward. So now we're 12 years clean and sober. Her birthday is my new birthday. You
come
know,
on, birthday.
come on, we got a new birthday. We got a new
Surprise.
birthday. Yes, and it evolved to the point where I end up, after all of that, I went to the doctor and I found out that I have a disease. It's called sarcoidosis.
Mm-hmm.
Sarcoidosis, because of that, there's no cure. So at first I felt, how can you, Lord, let me get here after all of this that we have been through? You brought me through all of this, and now I'm not going to even be here for my kid. Well,
Right.
that turned into finding nutrition. I
Come
reached
on,
out to a friend of mine, and the nutrition. I thought maybe if I just get some nutrition, I can at least I can have some energy. The energy built into the point where now I'm on this plant-based diet, and now my life is turning, 360 degrees around.
won't he do it?
Won't he do it? At the time when I first had sarcoidosis, I had skin sarcoidosis so bad that you couldn't even recognize my face. I had
Mm.
bumps and granulomas on my face so bad. And one day I say, Mama, look at my face. She said, what's wrong with it? I say, nothing. This nutrition had helped clear. I knew then I needed to help someone else. I
Come
needed to pass
on.
this on. I can't
Right.
keep this to myself. I got to make sure I tell the world. And that's when we started this nutrition. It just became that. Then this became my ministry. It wasn't just about the shakes and the teas. It wasn't just about that. It was about this whole transformation. Oh my God, I tell you, God is good. And I
Yes,
didn't
it
see
is.
myself being in my own brick and mortar, but I am now, serving
Come
people
on
each and
here.
every day, baby. Because see, that's what the Lord did. He served. And I'm serving. That's what we're here for, as service.
That's it. That's it. And I remember when you were telling me, and this is something that I do subconsciously, right? Because this is the gift that God has given me. God has given me the gift to actually have a thing or create my own thing from something else, right? So it could be a business or it could be someone else's model, which is what you actually have, Sean, because
Yes.
Sean is a top distributor with Herbalife.
Right.
But from Herbalife, she has created her own lane. So no longer is Herbalife the forefront. It's Houston Angels Nutrition,
Right.
correct?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So it's Houston Angels Nutrition. This is her nutritional bar. She's created her own shakes, honey. She has her own personal and customized names. Matter of fact, we got a boss up drink. Y'all might
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
go over there and sip it on up.
Yes, baby. With mint leaves on the top, baby.
Yes, with some mint and watermelon,
Yes, ma'am.
because y'all know we like the pink, so we had to incorporate that in our drink. But I just love that she has created her own lane within the brand of what she's doing. Okay,
Right,
so no longer, or and God will do that as well. God will give you something, okay, but He will turn it into what He wants it to be,
right.
and it's exceedingly above
Mm-hmm.
Anything we can imagine or think. So
Yes, we
that
do.
little dream that you have, honey, that little vision that you wrote down to make plain, God will multiply that
Yes.
times 10,
Yes.
times 100,
Yes.
times 1,000. The
Yes.
things that you think about, God is gonna move forward and push forward to things you can't even imagine. Could you
Mhm.
imagine you having your own nutrition bar when
No,
you
honey.
was
Never.
in that trunk?
No. No, I did not.
No.
When I look, I was working a full-time job, and
Right?
last year, 1 year ago, from the August 27th, I walked out. I resigned from my job. But I had
Come
been with for
on.
7.5 years. You know, I never imagined this would be my livelihood.
Because what God will do is say, not your will,
Yes, but
my will
mhm,
be done. So when
mhm.
you think you can't do something, okay, when you on the brink of that breakthrough, what you're doing is you're having a conversation with yourself when you should be having a conversation with God. Come on, somebody.
Woo-hoo. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes.
Okay, because
Yes.
what God will do is go before you, and that's what we forget sometimes. We
Yes.
forget that God goes before us. He's
Yes, he does.
already laid our pathways. He's already given us that future. It says, "For I know the plans that
Woo-hoo.
I
That's my
have for
scripture.
you."
Yes. Yes.
Plans to
Yes.
prosper you and to
Yes.
give you hope, plans not to harm you. So, those things that if you're in situations that are harming you, that are toxic, that are not for you, that's not of God, and you better run.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Come on,
Yes. Run as
evolution.
fast as you can.
Come
Yes.
on.
Woo. Come on, we
All
have we
right, all right.
wow.
Rising Phoenix, baby.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
love I love your story, Sean. And listen, this is just a snippet of Sean's story in this book. So definitely we want you to indulge in the book and indulge in her chapter. Chapter 11, The Rising Phoenix, honey.
Yes. Yes.
LaShawn Watson, co-author.
Yes.
So I do want to talk about what you want people to take away from your specific chapter. What do you want them to leave with? Because again, we're talking about legacy, legacy wealth, growth,
Yes.
healing, all of that. So, what do you want people to take away when they read your chapter?
First of all, I want them to take away hope, because hope is so big, because so many of us have lost hope.
Yes.
We get into a thing, or we watch our family members or whatever in this slump, and we lose hope. I need them to have hope, because that's what we do here in my club. My club, I give my story, I talk about my story. The people tell their story, and we give each other hope. We give people encouragement, support, compassion. You know, that whole thing of not having to judge one another, so that people can be able to speak freely, so that you can be able to
Right.
help and encourage them. Because when you're not listening and you're always talking, you can't help anybody. So
Yes.
transparency is big. I want people to be able to have transparency, because your story is not the story for you. Your story is for
Mhm.
someone else. And that is the biggest thing I want people to take from that, that you can have went down to the gutter, but God has a purpose and a plan for you. That's
Ooh,
what's
I
so
love that.
amazing. He has a plan and a purpose for your life. And the thing of it is just what someone else is doing. That's not your plan. That's not the purpose for you. He has
Come
something
on.
else for you. There's enough for everybody, because he has something. It's just like when it says about everybody's a limb from the tree. We all have
Mm,
our purpose. You know what I'm saying? Each person has something to bring to the table.
that's
You
it.
know, we fall into this trap of always wanting to look at and compare ourselves. Don't compare yourself. I had to learn that. That's one of the things I had to evolve from. Don't compare myself. God has
Mm,
something for me. And
yes.
when he gave me this, because I didn't do this, I didn't do any of this. He
Come
gave this to
on.
me. He gave this to me. He also showed me how to do it. I kept saying, I'm not creative. I've never had a creative bone in my body. I don't say that anymore. Because all of a sudden, when I'm making these shakes, I'm making these
These
teas,
start
and I'm
coming to
designing
you,
stuff,
right?
the teas start coming to me. Baby, I don't know where it comes from. All I can say is, thank you, Father. So I just want
Yes.
people to read the chapter and be able to have hope and to know that you can't fix them. You can't fix any of those people that are in your life that on the drugs, on alcohol, or whatever, but keep on praying for them and keep on living by example in front of them. So
Hmm.
that's what I want you to take there.
All
Ooh,
right.
God is
I
good.
love it. I love it. And that's what it's about, the takeaways. Because a lot of times, again, I say this all the time, and you'll hear me say this a lot, especially according to this Evo, the evolution of a woman. People love to see the glory of your story, but they don't want the grime. They don't
Mhm,
want the dirt. They want the pretty little box.
mhm.
They want the diamond after the rough,
Right,
right?
right,
they
right.
they don't want all of that, the grit. But
Mhm.
in order for a diamond to shine, honey, okay,
Ooh,
it has to go through a process.
a process.
And it's underneath the dirt, the grit, the grime, the slime.
Yes,
It's underneath all of that. But
that's
it
right.
comes out that pretty little diamond.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So,
yes,
so
yes.
in order for us to really shine, we have to learn from those experiences. We have
That's
to
right.
learn from those, occurrences. We have to learn
Right.
from those things.
Exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
important to acknowledge that we went through it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's
Yes.
an important thing because I think that's why we get people that have mental illness or that are still dealing with problems or issues or trauma from
Yes.
childhood and
Yes.
from years and years ago because we don't deal with it.
That's right.
We
That's
don't
right.
acknowledge it. It's
Yes.
happening.
It
Be
is.
real and true with yourself about the situation.
Yes.
So I love it. The Rising Phoenix, honey, chapter 11. LaShawn Watson, co-author, owner and CEO of Houston
Houston Angels
Angel
Nutrition.
Nutrition. Yes, so give us that information. Give us your contact information, how people can follow you, go and purchase some shakes, teas, whatever, honey. If y'all on a weight loss journey, if you just need some energy,
Mhm.
hook up
Um,
with
yes.
Houston Angels Nutrition. Go ahead and give us that information, Sean.
So on Facebook, I'm Houston Angels with an S Nutrition. On Instagram, I am Houston Angels Nutrition LLC. You can reach me on all the social medias. LaShawn Watson is everywhere. I'm even on Snapchat as well as on TikTok. So we're making it happen everywhere. The phone number here is 832-843-7681. You can call the club. You can call in big orders. We do those lit pouches so that you can make it through the week. And so we have
Yes.
everything available. You can come and sit a spell. We have the music going, and we have these beautiful candles smelling real good in our club. So you can just come sit with us. Just come sit with us and have a conversation.
That's what's up. All right. So if you guys want to link up with Sean, you can definitely do that. Right now, we have the book on Amazon. We are number one best-selling authors. We have now hit 7 categories. So we want to give a great shout out to the Business of Book Mastermind Club publishing company. So that's BOBM Publishing LLC. They are the company that actually helped us publish our book and get us to number one. You can also go to their website, bobmpublishing.com. You can always link up with us, the Real Housewives of Houston. We are on all social media avenues as the Real Housewives of Houston. You can go to the website, therealhousewivesofhouston.org, or you can go to our email, rhwohinfo@gmail.com. You know what it is. It's the Real Housewives of Houston organization where success is the reality. So we are out. That has been another great episode of Evo Live. Definitely stay locked, stay tuned. We have more interviews coming to you, and see you later.
You know?
Ventures knows how to make the most of being single. Get social in person, try new things, and just have fun. Join Events and Adventures. We've been doing the single life right for over 30 years. 30 great events every month. Just visit eventsandadventures.com.
And we are back with another great author in EVO, The Evolution of a Woman. Yes, we did a thing, y'all.
Yes.
We did a collaborative book, EVO, The Evolution of a Woman, and I have with me the wonderful Miss Jaie Williams in the
Hey.
building. Hey, Jay, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. Miss J is a co-author in the book, and her chapter is chapter 5, and it is called The Resilient Woman. I love that title. It
Thank
means
you.
so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resilience in a woman. I love that. But we're gonna dig right in. We're gonna jump right in. And Jay, how did me and you meet?
Oh, we met. So our mutual friend Tequila Adolph is a friend of mine. She's my sissy, and she actually introduced me to the Real Housewives of Houston. And then I attended a prayer breakfast,
Oh
like a brunch,
wow, the prayer break.
and and that was the day that I met you for the very first time. Fell in love immediately. I mean, your spirit is just amazing. So yes, that was I want to say 2019,
Uh-huh.
2018, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay, okay. Now
Yes.
you know what? I do remember the prayer breakfast. I do remember meeting you there. But you know, my first remembrance of an encounter was a
Hmm.
conversation I had with you.
Hmm.
And this was after I met you the first time, and a couple of things had happened. And we were back on the next year for membership to
Yes.
renew.
Hmm.
And I had a conversation with you. And so I'm not saying that the first initial meeting was irrelevant or anything.
Hmm.
I'm just telling you that this made an imprint on me when we had the conversation, and you were talking to me about appreciating the things that we were doing as a collaborative in the group. And when I hear that from a member, that I take that to heart, because this is what we do this for, you guys. We do this for the realness of connections. We do this for the realness of the help of community. We do
Hmm.
this for the realness, for the boost of business,
Hmm.
and for the boost of your worth. Okay. And I'm not saying that you don't know your worth, or that people in the group didn't know their worth before. What I'm saying is that once you get into a group that has full support of you, your worth goes 10 times, 20 times up. Okay? Because
Yes.
you're worth every bit of what everybody else is worth collectively when you
Hmm.
have a collective group. And you have to understand that we're talking about legacy wealth, generational wealth. We're talking about building and growing together. And we mean that genuinely.
Hmm.
Okay. And when I had that conversation with Jay, it touched my heart, because it's like, God, somebody is getting it, right?
Yes.
Somebody is
Yes.
getting it. And let me tell you, ever since that day, ever since that conversation, I've seen a push, a shift, and a move in you. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate the genuine support. I appreciate every time you're able to be at a place, you're there. Your word is your bond. You give me that. So I do appreciate that. And I thank God for our connection. So
Me
hey,
too.
that's how we met.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the evolution of our relationship professionally, right?
Yes. Yes.
Evolution can mean so much, you guys. Evolution is a movement of time, right?
Mhm.
Within growth. And
Yes.
that's important because you can't evolve if you're not changing,
Hmm.
if you're not growing. So Jay, the resilient woman, chapter 5, tell
Yes.
us what is in this story. Give us a little bit of what you want the people to know that's in this story so they can pick up the book and read your chapter.
Yes, The Resilient Woman, Chapter 5, is my story. It is a glimpse into what I consider to be what resilience as a woman is about. We deal with, as women, me specifically, I've dealt with a lot of challenges, as we all have, but I feel like my challenges are a little bit more unique, simply from the standpoint of, having been married, have children, get a divorce. I got a divorce and then I remarried and then went through a situation with that marriage. And then having one of my children be disabled with his hearing loss. And, just being a mom and not being able to reach him, and he's an adult now and I've not been able to reach him. And it's one of those things that, it's hard to me to be transparent with anybody about personal things,
Mhm.
marital things, or things regarding, your kids. You just don't want people in your business, right? But
Right.
for me, to be able to look in the mirror after having gone through and still going through some things, the unpacking phase of what I've been dealing with and what I've gone through has been healing for me. So the purpose of me titling my chapter Resilient Woman and considering myself a woman of resilience is because you can get back up no matter how big or how heavy the obstacle is. You can do it, and it makes a difference to have the right people in your life. That means friendships. Sometimes you have to prune off the dead weight,
That's
even if it's been years,
true.
So, yeah. So basically, that's what it's about.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And that's so true. We have been subject to carrying that weight, carrying those relationships because of the length of time. Even in marriage, you stay married for a long time just because you don't want to get divorced. When there are reasons and there are things that show you that you should end that relationship. And I think that's a part of healing and growing as well, knowing when relationships should end, you know.
Hmm.
And we're not promoting divorce or anything like that. And if you want to save your marriage or stay in your marriage, hey, that's your thing. That's what whatever your thing is, that's what you should do. But if
Hmm.
you're in a situation to where it's not conducive for you, then you do have choices, you do have options, and you should try to choose the best one for you.
Right.
I always say acknowledgement is the first
Listen.
step in anything. I think people don't acknowledge that, they're going through something or that they're experiencing something. It's pushed under the rug. So that's
Mhm.
definitely important.
Yeah.
From your story, what do you want people to take away? What do you want them to read and walk away with once they read the story?
I would love for each and every person that picks up this book and reads it to take away from my chapter specifically that no matter what you go through, that no matter what obstacles you face, what rocks are thrown at you can overcome them as long as you have a spiritual foundation and center yourself around people who you really love and trust, that and you are confident that support you 110% without a doubt, because there has
Right.
to be a level of trust, right?
Mhm.
So for me, that's what I want people to know, that no matter how hard it is, no matter what's going on, get up every day and keep pushing forward, because with prayer you can overcome anything. Standing on God's promises, you can overcome anything. And so that's what I want people to learn and understand and know.
Yes, I love that. the running theme is faith and prayer. The running theme for overcoming and being a conqueror and being victorious and being prosperous and successful is faith. Faith, knowing that you can do it, seeing things before they come into fruition, and making moves and steps toward those goals and marks. That's faith,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And then the prayers that push us through, because there are going to be setbacks. There are going to be times when we're not in the best of spirits to deal with certain things, but
Mhm.
prayer will get us through. So that's that running theme, faith
Mhm.
and prayer. I love that.
Yes.
Evo, the evolution of a woman. This is Jaie Williams, chapter 5, Resilient Woman. You guys, you have to pick up this book. Definitely want to read this chapter. Jaie has a lot of great things. That was just a little bit, okay? She got a whole full chapter. She got things going on, honey.
Yes.
Listen, I was glued to the chapter when I was reading it, and I didn't want to let up. One thing I can say about the chapter is, and everyone's chapter genuinely in this book, is the realness that everyone gave. And I appreciate that authenticity
Mhm.
of the stories. We laid it all out on the table, and knowing that we did, uh, uh, a lot of the authors are saying, "I have more to say," right?
Mhm. For
So I
sure.
don't know, we might have a number 2 coming out. Y'all just stay locked and stay tuned. So Jaie, give the people your information and where they can reach you, and where they can link up with you if they would like to get your services.
Absolutely. So on Facebook, you can find me at Jaie Williams, and it's spelled Jaie. And on Instagram, I can be found at All Made Up by Jaie, as well as Gorgeous J, and that's GORJIZZ_JAIE. And I am a makeup artist, and so if you're looking for someone to glam you up, I got you. So check me out.
As y'all can see, that face is beats, honey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys, Evo Live, the evolution of a woman. This is the Real Housewives of Houston organization. You can reach us at www.therealhousewivesofhouston.org or the Real Housewives of Houston on all social media avenues. You can also go to our email, rhwohinfo@gmail.com. This is the Real Housewives of Houston, where success is the reality. Definitely go grab your book. Stay locked, stay tuned. This has been another great episode of EVO Live. We'll see you guys later. AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask how to get 300 megabytes per second for $35 per month, plus taxes and equipment fee with no annual contract. No bundle required. Unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability may not be available in your area. Speed claim based when combined upload and download capacity of Internet 300, Internet 500, and Internet 1000 versus Xfinity Spectrum and Cox 400M, 500M, 600M, 1 gig and 1.2 gig cable service with uploads of 10, 20, and 35 megabytes per second. Download max typically 940 megabytes per second for Internet of 1000. Speeds vary, not guaranteed. Welcome back to EVO Live, and I am here with the awesome, phenomenal author Sabrina Golden in the building. Sabrina is in the building.
Yes.
Sabrina, give the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what brought you to write this chapter in the book.
Well, my name is Sabrina Golden, and I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children. One son that's 22, second daughter who is 20, and my last one who is 13, and she's rambunctious. compared to the other two. But she keeps it live in my house. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own company called Sabrina Golden LLC, which I do branding. I do model coaching. I also have on a talk show called Boss Up Houston with Chimere, and also some other beautiful ladies as well. It's such a blessing to be with them on the show. I've grown so much being with them, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity. And then I also have my segment called Golden Opportunities, where I highlight entrepreneurs, authors, artists, you name it. I travel, I eat, I show you all different types of stuff. And which you guys know I love to eat.
Yes, girl. I remember that one. You were tasting something that, girl. I was like, I want some of that right now. Okay.
Was it that sea bass? Because you know I love some sea bass now.
It was
It
so
was a
succulent.
Mexico sea bass probably. I had steak, I had everything.
Well, that's that we do have it covered. I love to eat too. So
Yes, that's you should be picking some nice restaurants too. I was like, yes, yes. Especially when we have catered events, like
oh Lord.
Real Housewives stuff. Oh my God, food is.
Yes, all day
She
long.
know how to pick them. Okay, she know how to pick them. So yes, I'm also part of the Real Housewives. Woo-hoo. That is an amazing, amazing, amazing network. I mean, we do a lot of things. We serve the community. We go out, interviews. I mean, we do a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a great organization. Let's see. I model. I act. Did I say that?
What
And
don't you do?
right now, I have another added thing to my palette, and I am an author, #1 best-selling author on Amazon in 7 categories as of right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. As you can tell, you guys, we are excited. EVO, the evolution of a woman. The Real Housewives, or some of the Real Housewives, we decided to do a collaborative book, and that is what this book is about. So, Sabrina, give us a little bit about your story. What did you put in here that people will grasp, and what's so significant about your story and your chapter in the book?
Okay, so my story talks about growing up half Asian, half Black. It talks about how I was very sheltered growing up, and that's why I was naive to a lot of things that I probably should have seen or kind of felt, but I didn't know type stuff. And so
Right.
it talks about that, and then it also talks about me being shy. I used to hide behind my mom when people try to talk to me, like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me." Like, no. Like, I literally did not talk to anybody until I really got to know you. And so even getting married into the first family, it would be like anniversary month. Be like, "Oh, yes, the first family, we need you to come up here and speak." I'd be like, "Happy anniversary." And then sit down. That's how shy I was. I hate talking in front of people. Like, I literally hate it. I still hate it to this day, but I still push myself and push past my fears. And so I talk about that. I talk about, being married young, going through domestic violence, and still being able to love and still being able to, trust people. I mean, a lot of people would just shut down.
Yeah.
And my encouragement is for anybody who's gone through what I've gone through is to forgive, know your self-worth, and you can make it.
Oh, I love that.
I really thought, like, oh my God, what do I do if I'm a single mother? I haven't been working, it's been from my mom to my marriage. People always taking care of me. And then what am I going to do? But God. And he laid out that pathway. I mean, doors open. I mean, if you walk in his path and in his word, he's going to take care of you. And that's what he told me before I got my divorce. I said, is this what I can do? He said,
okay.
I always ask permission before I make a move. But
right.
I didn't grow up in church. So, with my mom being Asian, we didn't really go to church until like she found out about God like way later.
Later, yeah.
When I got married, that's when I really got saved and really knew my walk with God.
I love that. I love that. That's great. A lot of people don't identify, right, with being in a first family and what that all entails, because there are a lot of, and I hate to say, I don't want to say secrets, but it's more stuff that happens behind the scenes that you have no idea that's going on. And that's in leadership, period. Like, a lot of people see the end result or the things that happen on the outside. But there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that you are not privy to. And so that's very important, that you brought that out in your story. And I love the evolution. Like you said, you were shy. And now I would have never have guessed that you were ever
Right.
even though you're a little soft spoken, you're a social butterfly. You're so beautiful. You are into everything. You're modeling, you're acting. Where is the shy girl? Where is she?
It's still in here. I have to fight it like every time. It's in there. And I could do the one-on-one type thing, it's just the crowd.
Like,
hosting and in front of that thousands of people type thing. It's like I freeze up, be like, what am I supposed to say? Like even my first play, like that was so nerve-wracking, but it was just like a rush too. So like I was about to go out on my first play. Our first scene, we have to kill it. The guy grabs my hand and said, "Are you ready?" I said, I ain't ready. I forgot. I don't know nothing. I don't know what's my line or nothing. So, he pulled me out there and he put me in my spot, and then he went to go sit down. And then I was just standing there, and the lights came on because I'm the first one, and it just all came back. I was like, oh my God, this is a rush. I love it. Yes. It was so exhilarating, and that's why I was like, "Oh, okay, I got to do another play." But I'm still scared to do like a main role. I'll do that.
Really?
Yes, because like that's a lot of lines to remember.
Well, yeah, that's
and then
true.
Some of them want you to learn it like this. But give me a movie any day lead role, I'm on it.
Yeah, because they can cut and sing.
Exactly. Then your scenes like the plays go really fast, especially if they want professional people. You have to, like the last play that we had 2 months to rehearse, and that was like once a week. So we had to be on our A game, but we brought it.
All right. The evolution of Miss Sabrina Golden, honey. So from your chapter, and your chapter is actually number 2 in the book.
Yes.
And you entitled it Golden Opportunities, which I love.
Yes.
What do you want people to take away from your story? What do you want people to leave with? Because, we're talking about legacy wealth, growth, healing, all of these things, in the evolution. So what do you want people to take away from your story?
Well, first off, I want them to take away is that you need healing. Make sure you're getting counseling or some type of help, because going through traumas are very scarring and it can be deeply rooted. And sometimes you need help to kind of, subside those. I mean, yes, sometimes it's still going to be there, but to help forgive, to help, go through life, because sometimes it can be very depressing when you're walking through it and you get in a dark place. And so you need those prayers, you need prayer warriors, you need friends that's going to help you push you. Yes. And so, yes. And to realize your worth, that you don't need to walk through that. If you are going through that, you don't have to take that. You know,
Right.
yes, God doesn't like divorce, but he does expect a man to treat you the way he's supposed
The
to.
way that he needs to. Yes, I like that that you said that, and I remember one of the shows that we did. You spoke about those things, and you also spoke about your voice. And I think that's what Evo, the book, The Evolution of a Woman, gives us an opportunity to actually have a voice, and
Mhm.
then to let other women know that their voices can be heard.
Exactly.
Through all of the things that you go through all of the obstacles that you face, you still have that voice, and somebody will listen. And it's great that we got to do this project. You know what? And it's great that we were able to give our testimonies, because through this, we are even being healed, if even though we don't realize it. When you are able to express and acknowledge that you have been in a place and you have moved to a better or a greater place,
Mhm.
growth and healing, you
Yeah,
know, and sometimes you can be fully healed, and sometimes you can still be in the healing process. And it's
exactly.
good to acknowledge where you are in
Mhm.
that process.
Exactly.
EVO, you guys, the evolution of a woman. Sabrina Golden, Golden Opportunities. Her chapter is chapter 2. Sabrina, give the people some information on how they can find you and where to follow you, and what to look for coming up next.
Okay, you can definitely go to my website, sabrinagoldenllc.com. You can reach me on Facebook, Sabrina Golden, on Instagram at Brina Golden, or Golden Opportunities Houston. Um, where else? Like, you can just reach me on the website. I'm just everywhere.
Sabrina, like, Google me, honey. Google me.
Google me. Google me, darling.
Yes. And you guys, Sabrina is a member of the Real Housewives of Houston. I definitely appreciate her membership and her involvement, her participation. She's always on board to do great things, and we are doing great things in each other's lives and in the community as a whole. So definitely reach out to us, the Real Housewives of Houston, at www.therealhousewivesofhouston.org, or you can go to any social media avenue, The Real Housewives of Houston. You can also reach us at our email, rhwohinfo@gmail.com. Brina, any last words before we get off of here?
Yes, I love you guys, and thank you all for your support, and purchase, purchase, purchase.
Yes.
It's coming down.
Go and purchase your book today.
Get it too.
We are the Real Housewives of Houston organization, where success is the reality. Thank you for tuning in. Stay locked, stay tuned. Evo Live with our next co-author is coming up next, and we'll see you in a minute.
Off to Maryland I go. You know, the one thing I like to do is travel, sightsee, see the beautiful landmarks of each city, each state. And as you can see, this Potomac River is just absolutely stunning. It is so peaceful, serene. I mean, did you know Virginia was right across the Potomac River? Like, you learn something every day. I mean, I could sit here and just listen to this water rushing all day and night, because being by water is my peace. I mean, if you have not been to Maryland and to the Potomac River, you should go. And of course, we gotta eat. You know I love food. Lots of it too. I mean, here we are at the Silver Diner. I mean, my cousin spoiled the heck out of me with lots and lots of food. I mean, look, we're about to eat some sushi now at Kushi. And then he takes me to eat dessert. Oh my God. And the dessert is like so good. I mean, you cannot not go to this place. I mean, the conchi is amazing. Like, the desserts are so good. Try this out. Ice cream is amazing. And of course, when you're in Maryland, you have to go to DC. It's like right next door and down the street. So yes, here we are at the White House. And I also got to see the Black Lives Matter Plaza. I mean, everything is right around the corner and you get to see everything. I went to the Pentagon Mall. I mean, just Georgetown, waterfront, you name it, he took me. I mean, it was just whipping right around the corner basically. And I mean, I learned that you call it the DMV because everything is so like 20-30 minutes away. So yes, we got to see a lot. Yes, that's right. We're about to eat again. And let me tell you something. These oysters are the freaking bomb. I just want to fly back to Maryland just to go to the King Street Oyster Bar. Okay? They are amazing. Sweet, succulent. I mean, their sauces on their oysters are so tasty. I can just taste it right now. Oh my God. So good. Look at my face. You can tell. Well, until next time, Marilyn and cousin, I will see you very soon. And guys, check it out. Go to the DMV, go to Virginia, go to DC, go to Maryland. Have a great time. Until then, this is your girl Sabrina Golden with Golden Opportunities. See you later.
Welcome back to EVO Live, the evolution of a woman. And I have this great woman of God. I have to say that every time. Oh my God. Evangelist, prophetess, bishop, pastor, reverend, doctor, Chanel Dawson.
Come on, girl, give me all them hats. Give me all them hats, honey. That's a lot of hats.
You all that. You all that.
Listen, I can wear them now. I can wear them well. As long as the Lord is before me, listen, if he go before me, I can wear them. I can wear them
yes,
if he before me.
Miss Chanel, tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you come into writing a chapter in the book.
Okay, so after struggling with myself for so long and deciding that it was time for me to have an outward expression of who God is within me, I decided that I would contact Boss of Houston, and I met a beautiful, bouncy, bubbly, young young entrepreneur, business owner, named Chimere Bacon. I call her Chimere Beacon because she's a beacon of light. So I met Chimere, which is you, my dear, over a conversation, and we had a wonderful conversation. We spoke many things over each other, and just to look at it come to full fruition, God is able, to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask a think. So according to the power that working within us. So we had our belief system in place, when we met. So, I just wanted to have that outward expression of who God is in me. So when I came to Boss Up Houston to start a podcast with my husband, Life in the Deep, that's how this all evolved. So to write the chapter in the book was a wonderful thing, right? So it was something, that I've always wanted to do. So had the opportunity to do it.
I love it. I love it. And you know, God is funny, right?
Yes, it is.
He links us up and connects us in all
Yes.
these crazy ways. And
Yeah.
but when it's a divine connection, you know it. When the
Yeah.
spirit is speaking, you hear it, you know,
Yes.
and you know when God is in the midst. So I love that.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for providing us with your evolution and your story and
Yeah.
how you evolve. So, out of your story and what you gave in the book, what do you want people to know specifically so that they can go and read your chapter?
I want people to know that there is a woman in each and every one of our life that we can look to, not in a way of not in a way of mimicking them or modeling ourselves after them, but look to them as a role model, as to something that we can pull from them and make our life better, right? So that we don't have to look, um, at them in a fashion and become bitter or jealous of what they're doing when we're not prepared to do it ourselves.
Yes,
So,
yes. I totally agree.
hmm
And you know what? That's one another reason why the Real Housewives of Houston organization is this, because I feel like women shouldn't be envious. We are so much powerful if we
together.
just get together, if
Yeah,
we just
together.
use each one of our strengths as the
Yeah,
strength that's needed, you know,
yeah.
where I'm weak, you're strong, you
That's
know,
right.
and where you're weak, I'm strong. And guess what? We can
Yeah.
collaborate together and we can balance that thing out. And
Right.
and I love that about women who know their worth and
Yeah.
that have evolved to a place to where, you know, we can coexist.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
without hating, without any
That's
malice,
yeah.
and push each other forward in what we're doing.
That's right.
And I even say this, even in the same lane, I can work in the same lane as another woman and still be myself and still give my 100% and still
Yeah.
move and maneuver the way in my purpose. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of us need to get that, you know, instilled in our brain and our mind and our hearts and
Yes.
remove that jealousy, that envious, that malice when it comes to working with each other as women.
That's right. That's right.
Evolution, honey. And the
Evolution.
title, wait a minute, because the title of your chapter, My Blood Stained Banner. Now you
That's
know why I
right.
called her Reverend
That's
Dr.
right.
Lisa.
Come on, my blood stain, baby. It is bloody, but I tell you, the
Come
best
on.
blood on there is the one that he spilled on it, because that's what changed me. That's what saved me. That's what raised me. That's what makes me who I am. That right there. That I am nothing without him.
Without
Okay.
him.
And when we realize that, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So, Chanel, Prophetess Chanel, when people read your chapter, what do you want people to take away when they read it? Because we're talking about legacy wealth, generational wealth, legacy
Yes.
building, all of that, you know,
Yeah.
working together, evolving. What do you want
Mhm.
people to take away from your chapter?
Okay, so what I want people to take away from this chapter is that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We use that scripture so loosely, and we don't realize that we really can do all things through Christ, not through our own belief. I come from a place, they say I started from the bottom and now I'm here.
Hey, come
That
on.
song right there, honey. Listen, I started from the bottom and now I'm here.
I
So,
love
a lot of people don't understand what the here is. The here is in his presence.
it.
It's not, in the world anymore. It's not, it's in his presence, it's in him I live, I move, and I have my being.
Have
It's in
my
him,
being.
right? So it's just, that's what it is. Like, you can have anything that you set your heart out, as long as it's in his will. And believe you me, if it's in his will and it's in his word, it's going to accomplish that which he set it out to do.
Come on. And I say it all the time, like you said at the beginning, exceedingly above anything we can ask or think. So the little
Yeah.
things that we're thinking about, the little vision that we have,
Yeah.
everything is little that we're doing in God's eyes. You know, he's
Yeah.
bigger, greater, and
That's it.
he will push that thing forward. He's able.
Yeah. 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 Just like I said in the book,
Mhm.
our mission as children of God is to prove the doubters wrong.
Woo!
Especially when we become his children, we become engrafted in, and anything that they say we couldn't accomplish, we go above and beyond
Beyond
that
it.
which they say we couldn't do, because he will not allow his word to return to him void. He said we are, his craftsman, his workmanship. He pulls us in, and he starts designing us so that we can be, presented to the world as spotless and blameless, just as Jesus was. So
Yeah.
we are in his image and in his likeness, and we are perfect when we're in him, because
Hmm.
he's a perfect God and we're his perfect children when
I
we're in him.
love it.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to say that when the presence of God, when we're in the presence of God, that's
Hmm.
where we are at our best, you know.
Yes. Yep.
And I don't think people realize it's not on our own will and not on our own effort when we're doing these things and when
Yeah.
we're accomplishing things, and even in evolution, because when you grow and you get to a better point, or
Yeah.
get to better days,
Yeah.
that's God. And when you're
It is.
in that moment, in that happy space, that's the presence of God. And that's the
Yeah.
most exhilarating feeling to have, is when you're in his presence.
That's right.
Um, that's the
Right.
best place to be, right?
That's it. That's it. It's
Love
the protective place. It's a place that can't be penetrated by no enemy. No enemy can penetrate that place, where God is present. It says
it.
we submit to him and the devil will flee, no matter what it is.
Girl, you know what? You better get out of my head.
Come on. We submit to him and the devil can't stand around.
Listen, when I'm in a space, I start calling them out. You better flee. You better
You
walk
better
out. You
flee
better,
now. Yeah.
hello. I
Yeah.
say it
You
in a
didn't get
minute,
no invite.
and I don't care where I'm at. It'll come out.
Yeah.
It'll
That's
spew
right.
out. You better
That's
flee, because you
right.
can't stay here in my vicinity. I'm in the
That's
presence
right.
of God.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
I'm
right.
in the presence of the
That's
Most
right.
High. And
You
and
didn't
this,
say.
go ahead.
He's they say he's the creeper, right? And when he's crouching and creeping, we become the standard. Our character becomes the standard of God. And when he lifts it up, the devil has to flee, because he cannot stay in the presence of God. He cannot stay. Yeah. So we have a standard that we should operate in. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's when they say the name, just the name. Sometimes I
Just
just
the
start
name.
calling the name, honey. I don't have to
Yeah.
say nothing. I don't have to we ain't gotta argue. It ain't even no
Mm,
conversation. I just call the name.
no. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And let him have his way.
Let
Let
them
him have
have
his way.
it. Yes. Oh, my blood stained banner. I
Yeah,
love it.
that's right.
Chapter
That's
3.
right.
3, that's that number.
That's
That's
it.
that number.
That's it. Father, Son, the Holy
The
Spirit, honey.
Father,
Listen,
Son, and Holy Spirit, chapter 3, the bloodstained banner. Y'all better get this book.
get the book.
Definitely get it and read this chapter.
Yeah.
Prophetess, Bishop, Doctor, Reverend.
Come on. I can wear them.
Janelle
Listen, I can
Dawson.
wear them. Throw me in. If that's who what they say, ask for who you want, and that's who gonna come out.
Yes, yes. All right.
Yeah.
So tell the people how they can reach you, and if they want to get in contact with you, where they can find you on.
I am on Facebook at Chanel Dawson on Facebook. I am on Instagram, Miss C Dawson 0425 on Instagram. And if you want life coaching, we have a website. It's Lifestyle Restoration Group at gmail.com. Life coaching is everything. So,
I love
amen.
that. All right. So we look forward to hearing more from Chanel and the other authors in the book. This is EVO Live, you
Yes.
guys. EVO, the evolution of a
Yes.
woman. Definitely, if you want to link up with the Real Housewives of Houston organization, you can go to www.therealhousewivesofhouston.org or the Real Housewives of Houston on any social media platform. You can also email us at rhwohinfo@gmail.com. This is the Real Housewives of Houston, where success is the reality. Miss Chanel, any last words?
I would say, I would tell the people, get the book, meditate on what these women have written and what they've gone through, because we are the evidence that, where we used to be is not where we're going to be once we get in God. He can
I-
turn all situations around.
yes. Yes. All right, you guys. That's it for this edition of Evo Live. Definitely stay locked, stay tuned. We have some more authors coming to you. All right, we're out. All right, all right. And you guys, we have Evo, The Evolution of a Woman. Our book is out. You can reach out to any one of your favorite housewives and go to our distinctive pages and click on our links to purchase directly from us. Evo, The Evolution of a Woman. And that is from the Real Housewives of Houston, where success is the reality. Y'all know how we do. We do this every Saturday at 10 a.m. This is Boss Up Houston Talk Show. I'm your host, Chimere Bacon-Destin, baby. Jaie Williams, Sabrina Golden, Roxie Galvan, Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up. For information on becoming a member of the Real Housewives of Houston for the year 2022, go to www.therealhousewivesofhouston.org. The Real Housewives of Houston, where success is the reality.
Want to be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.